All right, we are into that 5 o'clock hour, which means we now have the 5 p.m. advisory when it comes to Hurricane Milton. So many of you I know waiting to hear what's next with this storm. So Katie, you've got the latest.
So some good news here is that it continues that forward motion at 17 miles per hour. And that's what I really like to see, that it does have that quicker motion. Keep in mind with Ian, it was only moving at 8 to 9 miles per hour. That was one reason why we saw multiple high tide cycles and such extreme storm surge. So at least this is a quicker moving system. Also, we have seen it weaken a touch more. So still a powerful Category 3, but at least we are seeing very slight weakening. So I want to bring you the latest here on the National Hurricane Center advisory. 5 o'clock update, winds 120 miles per hour, gusts to 150. Central pressure still quite strong at 948 millibars. But look at that, that motion's off toward the north and east at 17 miles per hour. We are still expecting it to make a landfall close to the Bay Area, likely Manatee County area, possibly northern Sarasota County. So what we have seen, this cone shift northward just a touch, but that will keep our friends here in the Bay Area, especially Pinellas County, in an exceptionally dangerous and precarious position. For us, though, we're still in that front right quadrant, friends. We are still in that storm surge zone. And of course, a major concern, get this, parts of Orlando, Central Florida, extending over to the Space Coast, expected to deal with Category 1 conditions heading into the day tomorrow. And then eventually we could even see some impacts there in Bermuda over the weekend. Now, let's talk about our storm surge here. We have seen some changes. So from Anna Maria Island down to Boca Grande, expecting 9 to 13 feet of surge. That has come down just a touch. Nonetheless, keep in mind, 13 feet of surge absolutely devastated Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach in Ian. So we're still talking about catastrophic storm surge here to Boca Grande. Now, from Bonita Beach up to Boca Grande, this does include Charlotte Harbor. So we're talking about Pine Island Sound, Pine Island, Lee County's Barrier Islands down to Bonita Beach, 8 to 12 feet of storm surge still anticipated, and no change here from Bonita Beach down to Choklovsky, right along coastal Collier County, still anticipating 5 to 8 feet of storm surge. So we're going to be tracking that closely. Now, in terms of when we can expect the worst of the surge to arrive, here's kind of that breakdown, because winds are starting to shift, now becoming more southerly. Here in the next few hours, they will become more southwesterly. When they do, those water heights will start to rise, and they will rise rapidly. The worst of it expected overnight. So this is our slosh model for downtown Fort Myers. We've already factored in high tides. So this is the abnormal rise of water on top of high tide. So it gives you an idea. This is the kind of rise we are expecting. Worst of it right here around 2 a.m. overnight, and staying above 5 feet through the morning. So that, of course, will shut down likely our bridges again for downtown Fort Myers. This would surpass the height of Helene, and that was second place behind Ian. Ian still holds the record for the highest storm surge ever recorded in downtown Fort Myers at just over 7 feet, but this is expected to come in second place. So just to put it in perspective, we will absolutely be seeing downtown Fort Myers flooding. As for Naples Bay, also expecting significant flooding as well, worse than Helene here, by the way, for Naples Bay. The peak of it expected right there around 2 a.m. as well, and we'll continue to see those inundations throughout the morning time frame. Now, as for those winds currently, winds are currently out of the south and southeast. Still seeing those gusts. Look at that, 58 miles per hour there in Naples. That's that peak gust here in the last few minutes. For Venice in the upper 40s, as well as Punta Gorda and RSW. Elsewhere, maximum wind gusts currently 50 miles per hour there for our friends in Lehigh Acres. 51 in Port Charlotte, 59 miles per hour in Naples, down in Marco Island. Peak wind gust here in the last few minutes, hitting now 64 miles per hour. So this is a time frame you want to make sure that you are sheltering in place. You do not want to be driving around when you could potentially have debris flying around in these kinds of wind gusts. Wind gusts, by the way, that will continue to pick up as we head into the rest of tonight as that storm makes landfall, which we are now expecting a little earlier. It could be closer to 9 and 10 o'clock. So gusts will continue 40 to 65 miles per hour through the evening, and then gradually overnight into tomorrow morning, we'll see those winds improve. By 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, flow out of the north and west, and those gusts generally 20 to 30 miles per hour. Closer look now at the rainfall. I'll be honest, I think most of our tornado threat has really subsided. We can still see a few lingering warnings, but I think for the most part, that big, monstrous band, those tornadic supercells that we were tracking for hours earlier today, it does look like those have really improved. Tornado watch, though, still in effect until 9 o'clock, so please stay on guard. But we are definitely seeing improvements. We will still have squally conditions overnight heading into tomorrow morning, but look at that. By 9:45 tomorrow morning, conditions significantly improving here across southwest Florida. And then through the day tomorrow, look at that. Those wind gusts really diminishing. 5 o'clock, it's still going to be breezy. We'll still have gusts around 30 miles per hour, but certainly through the day tomorrow, 30 to 40 miles per hour, much more manageable than what we're dealing with right now. Now let's talk about some good news with that 7-day forecast. Check this out. Friday, Saturday, mostly sunny skies, lighter winds are expected, and lower humidity on the way, with morning temperatures actually falling into the upper 60s.